What's up, world? Welcome to the Water Pod. We're back with another installment, man. Today's episode is brought to you by 50 Shades of Green LLC Landscaping, man. My boy Darren. Please hit him up for all of your landscaping needs. I'll put the link to get in contact with him, and his logo will obviously be on the beginning of this episode. So we appreciate you. 50 Shades of Green Landscaping. Y'all check them out, man. They got you whatever landscaping needs you need. Without further ado, though, today's guest, I feel like I keep saying this on the pod. I feel like I keep saying, like, met this guy and it was just cool. You know what I mean? Like, it just went with it and, like, felt like you known him forever. So, but I want to get to know him better. You know what I'm saying? Because being that when we met, we was just like, felt like we known each other forever. It was like, you don't really get to really know the person because you're like, yo, this is my friend. We just talk about like relevant things or whatever and some old stories. But what else can I say? I'm excited to have him on here and talk about what he's got going on, man. You've probably seen him, the excellent bass player out of Black Power Mixtape, Mason Jar Music, Randall Fowler. Those are some acts you've seen him with, and who knows who you'll see him with in the future. Obviously, Mason Jar Music. And dude's just a blessing to be around. Excellent bass player, all around cool dude. My boy, Chris Viera.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? Sorry for the long-winded intro, but
I appreciate it.
I got to do you your due diligence, man. You
Very,
know what
very
I'm saying?
nice of you.
So,
thank you.
like I said in the intro, though, man, Chris and I have known each other for a few years, but it's been strictly music, so I had to have him on. He's got a dope store for musicians, so he's just like 100% musically entrenched, and that's why I'd like to have him on in the first place. So what's going on with Sound Power, man? You want to tell him a little bit about Sound Power and how that came to be and what your goal for it is?
Yeah, sure. Jordan and I have been rocking the Costello Studios for a minute.
Costello.
We had some real nice folks below us in church for a while, and they, unfortunately, for whatever reason, needed to leave very quickly. And Jordan and I were like, man, what are we going to do with this place? We're just like, man, let's just try to do this over here. Dwayne, him and I kind of go back and forth with a lot of, workings in the sound biz as well, running sound together, playing each other's bands, recording each other.
The Wolf.
Right, and then we had, another store that we were doing some stuff similar with, and I had some experience with it, so we really didn't want a nail salon to move in.
Yeah.
Really mess up our vibe with the studio. We're like, let's give this thing a shot. And
right.
And also, back in the days of working at the center, it's like I kind of like it when like we have a cool kind of local music store. In town that it's equally cool as a place to like hang at. It is to like buy your gear from, and it's so easy to buy online. So I totally get that, but.
No, I think it's real cool because like when I was coming up, man, like I'm sure with you too, but like Cat's music and and even though y'all are doing more for the musical side, obviously you got more equipment. Cat's was more about the records and stuff, but but it was just cool to have, like, I remember you and your buddies like on a Saturday would just hop in the car and ride up to the music store, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So is that kind of the vibe y'all are going for? You want people to just have somewhere to go that is really about music, not just about a dollar kind of thing?
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely on the local vibe for sure. Obviously you got to make sales and you want people to shop with you, but the vibe is obviously the most important thing. And most people come in and out of the studio and people hear something going on, they want to check that out, or if there's opportunity for that, we can go back and forth. And sometimes people from the studio end up shopping in the store, people shop in the store end up coming up and booking time in the studio. That's been great.
Yeah, and that's off is it Bacon's Bridge or 12?
Yeah,
Bacon's Bridge, right?
1246 Bacon's Bridge.
Right, so 1246 Bacon's Bridge Road. If you need guitar strings,
we do a lot of pro audio equipment.
Whatever you need.
We kind of handle anything from somebody, just getting started, want to buy their first guitar, to some, we have put in some, full PAs at, local joints that needed, full service, like rider ready rigs and stuff. So anything in between.
Nice. And I know that like he name dropped a few people, Costello, awesome studio, located at the same location. It's above the store. So if you need recording, get it Chris. And get in there to Costello Studios. He also name dropped Dwayne, Chris. If you're a local musician that performs live, you've probably ran into Chris or Dwayne, and they've been running sound and making sure you sound good. So obviously, if you need help on sound work or whatever, get with these guys. They got one-stop shop, man. If you need anything music or performance related, recording related, anything like that, you should get with these guys, man. They're top of the food chain in Charleston for sure. I'd put them up against worldwide, but we're just talking locally right now. But so have you always been into music in that type of way? Like, was it something that grew on you as you got older, or was it just kind of ingrained in you, or you had people around you that play music, or family? What's like the main reason you got into music, you would say?
Just remember having like a handful of like cassette tapes, as a kid, and always listening on the boombox, and just really feeling like strong emotions around music, right? Like started playing trombone in the band in middle school. Mm. So that really helped me start to develop, the real understanding of it, and kind of carried it on from there. Had like a storage shed when I was like 15 with like my like punk rock bands and stuff, and just like really had no idea what I was doing, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And, kind of just kept going from there.
So it was just like, for me, I know that music was kind of like what got me into music, and I know that like a lot of people might look down upon hip hop when it comes to music because you're not like playing instruments or doing it that way, but it's whatever. That's a whole nother pod. Whatever.
We can talk about that.
But I know when I got into music, it was like an escape or like almost a rebellion. You know what I mean? Like a way to like express myself in a way that I wasn't allowed to, or I didn't feel like I was allowed to. Like, is that kind of the same deal with you? Because because you say you was in some punk rock bands, so like obviously like you're probably like me, had some teenage angst about something, or
I mean, there's definitely things that I would say in a song that I wouldn't say in a conversation.
Right.
I think that you can find that in music, certainly any kind of artistic formula, whatever you do. To
right.
Yeah, you can definitely do some stuff in there that represent yourself, and even be a little self-serving and give yourself something that you really want through your art that might help you.
Right. Yeah. And so so did something make you want to have something to say? You know what I mean? I guess is what I'm asking too, is like, because for me, I felt like not like a specific thing, but I just felt like music was like a way to escape from something. You know what I mean? Were you ever felt like that, or was it just like, yo, I played trombone, and I don't know, like, cause I feel like I can't, like, to see you play the bass, I'm like, bro, like, what made you want to do that? Because I wish I would have wanted to do that. I mean, I'm glad I wanted to like write poetry and lyrics and like and dive in that way. So I'm sure there's people out there that are like, I wish I could write like that. But I'm always just so intrigued by somebody who can play an instrument, and I'm just not dedicated enough. I don't know, like what made you like want to be a bass player and play the stuff that you wanted to play, like?
I think it, being around just a lot of groups and being with my friends, and everyone kind of fell into some place, and I ended up playing bass, and I loved it, and it seemed like nobody wanted to play bass, and I was like, shit, you guys want to play bass? And then I got like a bunch of nice gear, and I found out that it was like, early on,
right,
it was easier to be like a decent bass player than it was like good at guitar. So you could like kind of give your buddy some shit, especially a drummer. You're like back, like I'm just like on like a note the whole time, like you guys can't keep up, like I was like, man, this is a lot of fun. And I think I kind of started to get really energetic, like, and letting the kind of like music kind of move me, and I think that helped bring me out of my shell a little bit. I'm probably relatively reserved,
right,
and being able to kind of like have some fun.
It
kind of made me enjoy it a lot.
Well, that's why I wanted to have you on the pod. It's funny you say that, because you're a real reserved guy, and you're humble, and I'm like, I want somebody like that to get a voice that they might not normally get or express, because I'm like, bro, dude, you kill the bass, you know what I mean? Like, not to get in your personal life, but you know, you're doing your thing as a father. You know what I mean? You're running a store. You're recording great music. You know what I mean? And you're always got a good positive attitude. But you know what I mean? I want people to, like, when they think that they need somebody to run sound, they think you. I want people to hear what you got to say. Like, when I think about a store, they think you. You know what I mean? And because I feel like you're a lot of like me in that aspect. Like, I'm just like a under the radar kind of guy, even though I'm doing a podcast. Like, people know and see me around, whatever. But in real life, like, I'm just super easy going. I'm not going to sit here and like pump myself up or brag, you know what I mean? Like, people, I've had so many people come through here that just, you know, like, I'll record stuff for them or do things that people are charging them hundreds and thousands of dollars for, hundreds or thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but and it's just because, like, I'm just like, yo, I want to see everybody flourish and grow and stuff like that. But to reiterate what I'm saying about like how I feel like you is like, you're not like, oh man, I got this, and you know, I did this and I did that, and like, you should come over here, you should come over here. You're just like, man, the talent and the love mainly should just speak for itself, you know what I mean? So that's what keeps it. But I said this with when I was talking to Los, like, I kind of started a podcast because I'm just tired of being so humble. You know what I mean? Like, I've been humble forever, dude, and like I'm gonna always remain humble. That's just my character. But I want to have like this. I don't know the word to put in front of humble, but like a confident humble, proactive humble. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna remain gracious, but I'm gonna start letting people know who I am, what we do. I'm gonna let people know, like, my friends, what they do and what they got going on. Like, it's time to not just be word of mouth and be like, well, I guess this is word of mouth, but you know what I'm saying? Like, not just, it's time to like put it out there, man. Show what we have to offer in Charleston, and amongst, like, people don't really know everything that's going on. So did you so we talked about how it, like, what got you into music, you know, and like, did you grow up around music? Did you have family members that played music, or
not really.
How did you grow? Matter of fact, where are you from anyways? Are you always from Charleston? Let's go there.
I grew up in Boulder Bluff, Goose Creek. Went to Goose Creek High School. Baby, yeah, man. Yeah, been around for a while. Yeah, I've always been from here though. I've traveled some now, you know, in the second half of my life from that time, you know. Right. But this has always been home base.
Yeah. So, Goose Creek, did you go to Goose Creek High?
I did.
Yeah?
I did.
Nice.
Man, yeah.
I went to Goose Creek High too, man. I don't know, man. I could have graduated, and I didn't. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so dumb, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I tell people, like, people talk about Goose Creek and stuff, or like they talk about it like it's the suburbs, and it's not like, and I'm not gonna ever be like, oh, this shit's like Chicago down here, but it was just like, especially my generation, probably your generation as well, like, there's not a lot of successful people from that generation, you know what I mean? And like, there are, but it's not like, I don't want to say successful. Let me backtrack. Like, it's like a lot of bad things occurred in Goose Creek in those generations. You know, drugs and pills and all this crime, and people, like, I don't know, man. I feel like it people look at Goose Creek like it's just some like oasis or something. I think, you know, like, it's not like people.
I mean, it never really felt like that to me growing up there. You know,
yeah.
I mean, like, but I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, yeah, definitely two sides. You know, in that town, probably any town.
Right.
But,
yeah.
But you know, I still love Goose Creek. I still love Goose
Me
Creek.
too. I got it. Look at this. I got it tattooed on my hands. Like, how ridiculous is that?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Yes. Dude, I'm going to get those after the
you
show.
should, dude.
I'm calling my guy. I can get some pics of those.
You should, bro. Get the same
great,
ones, man. Goose Creek. tattooed on my hand. You know, like, so that'll show you what we were doing when I was coming. Like, most people are like applying for colleges and stuff. Like, nah, I was 16 with
even in the
tattoos all over my body.
Even in the early 90s, like, there was still like dirt roads near like the neighborhoods in that area, like getting as you were going towards Monk's Corner. I remember calling Monk's Corner and it was like long distance.
Right.
Long distance on like a landline.
100%. That's I've always felt that same way, bro. It's like Goose Creek. I guess it's any town, like you said, man. But Goose Creek always like it was rural when we were. You know, not that it was ever really rural, but there was, you could find like some woods to chill in or hang out with your boys on a log and do what boys do. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, I don't think there's every tree that's around any town now they planted. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much development, man. It's crazy. But the good thing is, both of us are in business, so there's more people to buy what you got.
Right, more people to come to shows, more people.
Yeah, more people to come to shows. That's another thing, man. Like, I hope that Charleston gets more shows and more, like, I've just been waiting for us to get, like, instead of the B category, you know what I mean? Which is fine, but I just think there's so much talent down here. Why do you think that is? You think because we're a small market that we don't...
It's probably out of the way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's becoming more on the way, you know, progressively, probably through the whole time, but we're seeing it now. I mean, you see good acts come through honky tonk. I mean, really good, like, country acts come through honky tonk.
Yeah, for sure,
you see like, even what, you know, Callie's doing over at Charlie Pub, you know, bringing some really good acts in the rock circuit that are, I mean, that place slamming, you know. I was shocked. I was like, man, this is great.
Yeah.
And then seeing even what's going on at, like, the place that I've been, you know, booking around and signing out at Tiki and having great bands and stuff come through there. It's like, man, it's really feeling good. Like, there's a couple of areas right here that are doing well with music. Like,
right.
Or even, especially when bands can come from out of town and, like, you know, earn enough for it to make sense even to come through. Like, and yeah, okay, we're not, I guess we're not talking about, like, the guys that are going to sell, like, the pack or whatever. But, like, that level, like, just above, like, local before you get to, like, you know, that or whatever, and having some of those great acts come through. Sometimes you find, especially if you spend any time on YouTube or on any streaming stuff, to dig them, you're like, oh shit, man, this is great. This is like, this is going to be something that's going to pop off, and I'm going to be on the front of it.
Right.
You know? Because it came through Charleston first.
You know? Yeah.
Or especially the surrounding Charleston area. You know?
Would you think we'll ever have, like, another Charleston? That's what I want to see. Like, are we going to have something out of Charleston that's like, what do we got? Hootie, Edwin McCain. Edwin McCain's just South Carolina.
I don't know, man. I think
there's some.
The times have changed so much from then, anyways. Like, you might be able to say that again in most towns. Like, when's the next gonna? Well, maybe with the music industry has changed so much to where they don't sell records and they don't make music videos like that. Like, where, you know, millions of people are sitting in front of their TV to see the debut. You know, like. So that those times have changed so much. I think that those people in that, like, really caught a great wave at the, I don't know if it's the end or not, but that wave, you know.
Yeah.
It's a totally different thing now. You know?
I'm glad you said that because you're 100% correct on that. It's like, I think that people used to blow up from towns and things, and now it's like, because of the internet and because, like, the way that things work now, like, it's just you literally have access to everything at one time. So it's like the chances of a certain town having that person or group or band that rises up is so much harder, I think, but at the same time easier. You know what I mean? Like, it's a catch-22. I think it's just like a lottery.
Well, bands got to have places to play that are doing well in biz, to have, you know, showbiz, you know, to have, you know, entertainment, you know.
Ooh, that's
more places, and that's surprisingly happening now in the area.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's surprising or not, actually, but with all the growth, we're seeing some places, even locally, that have, like, nice sound systems, dedicated sound guys, you know, like, stuff that, I mean, it's not new, like, by any means, but it's happening more here and in better places, and I think that's part of that, like, being cultivating to, you know, growing the scene and shit. And then maybe a band 100%. Does get up because they're able to get, like, support from their friends and stuff. I've seen that a lot. Some of like the Soul shows, Old Soul, and Bull Spin 9. A lot of those guys come to each other's shows, and that's really cool. I remember seeing that. Well, like it feels like 20 years ago now. Like see, even like with the way that Mason Jar would and Randall, that we could all be kind of like doing that and like showing support for each other, and that's really cool. I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
That really helps when places are able to start booking like nights other than just Friday and Saturday.
Right.
When you start, because I'd love to go see my friends play in their bands, but like I probably have a gig too. We all feel that way.
That's usually That's usually how it goes for me. There's always something going on, but that's probably a kind of detriment, I think, too, to the scene, is that we don't have like a bigger venue that has like. If you go to another city, it's like if you go to Rogers on Friday, they're gonna have like the best local acts, and it's gonna be packed out of, you know what I mean? Like we've got 15, 20 different venues, and you gotta kind of, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of towns have like the spot. And we don't necessarily have the spot. We have a lot of spots. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. I like it because everybody gets to shine and have a place to play, and you know what I mean. But I feel like that's how like Atlanta like breaks people, is like where like for instance the Apollo back in the day. Remember, like if you went on the Apollo, like that's you're breaking your shit is breaking. You know what I mean? And like. We don't have like that spot that's in the state where it's like, or I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like Atlanta, New York, these different places, Chicago, Detroit, they have like for instance, the House of Blues used to be South Carolina's like, and I'm not saying it's not like still a really dope venue, but I remember back in the day, like if you played the House of Blues, and they had like. They were somewhere that was bringing in like big local acts, like the best of the best all the time. You know what I mean? If you went any weekend, you remember that time where House of Blues was like popping.
Saw shows there for sure. Yeah.
And like that, we don't have that anymore. And like the Music Farm is supposed to be, but I feel like the music.
They've been just recently getting back to doing
because
stuff, right?
I think COVID they really took a hit or something.
Well, at one point we thought we totally lost that venue altogether, so I'm happy to have them back,
I'm very thankful that it's back, because I've seen some really dope acts there, and I've performed there a few times. But I wish that they.
I feel like that could be that place.
It can, but I think that because you have to make money as a bigger venue, it's just hard to make it locally susceptible, you know what I mean? Like, because whenever you have to bring bigger acts through and stuff like that, you can't really help the local scene as much. And I'm not saying they don't, but
I went there for a local metal show like 2 months ago, and I was shocked that the place was like, I don't know, there's probably like 450 people in there.
That's awesome, man. That's what
local
we need.
Local metal, and like four bands, and
about.
I knew a couple of the guys, so I went and I thought it was cool. I haven't been to another one since then, but I saw, they're posting them. They're doing some local stuff there, and that's. I actually think that a guy named Sean Kerr is like kind of doing some of this.
Yeah, Sean. Shout out Sean. Yeah. He's helping out with that, I think, for sure. And
all right. Well, that's cool.
All those guys, like you mentioned, Cali, like they're definitely keeping. I guess that's why you and I are kind of on. Because I guess I'm looking at it from a hip hop perspective.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And you're kind of looking at it as a rock perspective. So I think that's why you've been like, I don't know, man, because
I feel bad for the hip hop guys. There's not that many places to play.
For sure. And like we tried to bring we did bring the band into it, and that really got us into these venues that would never have us. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was what really propelled us, because there is a hip hop scene down here, but that, like we were just talking about, like rock being kind of, or live band music being so spread out, but hip hop's even worse. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop, 7 nights a week, somebody's having something somewhere, because it doesn't take a band, or you know what I mean. Like all you got to do is plug some stuff in and
Sure.
couple mics, and you could have a hip hop show. So you could do that anytime you want on the drop of a dime. You know, you'd be here. So what I'm saying is, there's like right now, there's probably 50 shows in the Tri-County area that you can go to for a hip hop open mic or something like that. So it's just very spread out, and there's not like that to talk about like Detroit, like the Shelter or something, where like this is the hip hop night. Everybody's gonna go come through and gonna have the best acts from around the area. We're gonna, yeah, they don't have that for sure. It's better with rock, you know what I mean, for sure. That's why I was like, once we got the band involved, bro, we was, you know, it just opened so many more doors for us for sure, you know, because venues are much more. I don't know, man. The stigma that follows hip hop around, man. I mean, we could tiptoe around the elephant in the room, but there's just a stigma behind it that, you know, like hip hop, just people have more bravados and whatever. You know what I mean? I guess is the case, but
Seems like, I mean, in my experience, which is only my experience, and like, it seems like the performers are always grateful to have a gig, and respectful and nice and good. And then I think what people tend to want to stay away from is like this, like the bullshit that goes on in a parking lot. The people that come to those shows always cause so much fucking shit that it's unmanageable.
yeah,
You know, and
that's.
but I shouldn't say
100%
always. It's like, you know, I said, you know, everybody's experience is different. That's just what I've experienced, and I do hate it for the hip hop. You know, that art that all of the dudes could be do a lot of that Costello's. And I'm working with a dude right now named Lil Duddy who's killing it. You know, I'm all for this dude, really enjoying working with him. And he's like, man, he's only got like a couple places to play. He's already kind of traveling out of town just to try to get his voice heard already. You know,
Right.
I've been on it for a couple months. So
Yeah, that's it. That's the toughest thing about doing rap. And I can definitely speak from experience. What you're saying, like, is true. Like, a lot of, I will say that, like, more recently, there was like a time where, and I'm not saying it still doesn't happen, but there was a time where hip hop was very like aggressive and like pick your side kind of music. You know what I mean? And it feels like now hip hop's kind of getting back to like people being more, I don't want to say inclusive, but just more like conscious and thoughtful about what they're saying. And I'm not saying that the other stuff's still not out there, but
I'm not sure that really is any of the like gasoline on the fire at all. I'm not sure that the lyrics and I'm not really. I'm seeing people get, you know, amped regardless. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I do like that. I do like it. I love it when people get amped to shows. Like that's what, you know, that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? You see that in all genres.
But it's the extra shit.
The
You know what I
extra
mean?
shit.
It's like
That's,
once it's causing problems outside and all that, you know. So yeah, man. Sound power.
You see that shit back in the day with like, oh man, like back in like the Plex days.
Oh, the flex.
Shit, we just get
Bro,
like
we about to
taken
show
over.
her. You about to show her
They
age.
do a hip hop
Alright.
show and this shit, and then like they just have to like take the registers, like, and everybody just leave the building.
Yeah.
This shit is taking the fuck over.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Bro, I remember they used to have teen night there and shit too. You remember that? You were probably.
I think I was a little bit of. I think I was you know, a little ahead, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if you remember that rapper from Stratford, Firstborn. No, he was big. Like, I don't know. He was like, everybody thought he was about to blow up. You know, he was like, but he went to Stratford and he had a show there, and that was crazy. Like, I never seen police in there at a teen club because it was just, I've never seen it so packed. They had to oversold this thing, you know. Dude was rapping in the middle of that dance floor thing, that big wooden dance floor thing. With, this was at Desperados.
Desperados.
Yeah, this wasn't even the Plex. This was Desperados. Do you remember how I had like the big thing in the middle?
That shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he had like a 8-foot circle that he was rapping in. It was just like kids from 12 probably, maybe, you know, some some mature 11-year-olds might have been there. Who knows? It was teen night. I think it was 13 to 17, 16, something like that. Right. Which is just a crazy concept to me now, because I think back on that and I was like, bro, there's probably some 19-year-old dudes in there with these 12, 13-year-old girls on teen night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying nothing happened, but I'm just like, now I look back and I'm like, because I was young when I was going there. I was probably 13, 14, but I remember, like, being there as a 13-year-old dude and seeing some older dudes and, like, being like, this is teen night. Like, if that dude will beat the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got a mustache and everything. You know what I mean? Like, this dude's got a beard up in here. And I'm about to get beat up. Wild times, bro. I don't know. People always say, I don't know. Ain't nothing new under the sun now, I guess, right?
By the time we were 19, we were already on to something way down the road off that.
That's what I said. I didn't finish school, man. I should have finished school, dude. I only needed a few credits and I would have graduated, you know what I mean? But I wanted to go get an apartment and get a real job and all that.
Seems like you're doing good now.
Yeah. I don't ever complain about where I'm at or what got me here. You know what I mean? I'll talk about it, but I feel like people get hung up on that a lot. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, just because you might not have had the best upbringing or the best parents or the best anything, you know what I mean? The best clothes, the best shoes, whatever. Like, it's nothing to, like, the only way that defeats you is if you let that become you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people let their struggles become them, and I'm like, dude, like, you can't let that hurt you and give you like a reason to give up, or because I guess, like, I've been through so much shit that I've got like the best excuses to just be a piece of shit, to just give up on life. Like, I have like every excuse that somebody has, I probably have. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna name them off, but if you had a shitty upbringing or this or that or that, this, it's like, okay, dude, like, but you gotta move on, bro. Like, you can't. Now you're an adult.
You gotta
like,
be accountable. Accountability is is a difficult thing to talk about. You know, like, a lot of people not taking accountability, but now you take accountability for yourself best you can, and you know, and good on you, mate. Like, see you doing that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like, you know, I don't know, man. I'm just like, I'm not gonna blame people. I felt like once I became an adult, I was like, I'm responsible now.
Sure.
From here on out, I'm responsible. I can blame anything in my past for why I'm gonna be irresponsible if I want to. But at the end of the day, I'm an adult now. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be like, this happened to me when I was a kid, and that's why I'm gonna just ruin the rest of my life as an adult. Like, and I'm not saying like we just negate like things that people been through, but you just gotta be like, dude, like, I can't let my past ruin my future, because then in the future I'm gonna be like, man, I let my past ruin my. It's like a never-ending cycle. Every 5 years you look back and you're like, 5 years ago I should have fucking got over that and moved on and did this and did that and did this, and then at that 5-year mark you're like looking back and you're like, damn, man, like I just had this conversation 5 fucking years ago.
I mean, you got to think there's got to be some kind of disconnect, right? I mean, it's not like people don't. I don't know. It's impossible to describe, but there's got to be some kind of just, you know, if you start lying to yourself early on, you start like not accepting accountability for yourself, or not like just like being like real with yourself. You know, maybe I can see that maybe like constantly getting pushed to the back and just like moving forward and like a little bit unsure about anything, much less what direction you're supposed to go.
Right.
And just, you know, trying to live a false reality. I hate it for people. I do. However, you know, I do the best I can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You just gotta, you gotta keep on trucking, bro.
Right.
So, what's like some of your musical inspirations? Like, is there bands that you really enjoy, or coming up, or were you kind of like just a melting pot? You liked all kind of shit. What you got?
Man, I guess. Yeah, I would. Probably a melting pot of everything. Listen to lots of rock music, of course. Through the 80s, 90s, and then through the 2000s. Still listen to rock music. You really gotta look to find like new, like good rock music.
Oh, dude, I do it all the time because I like rock a lot, but I'm like I like certain amount of rock. Like I only go so far in a lot of genres. Like it's not just rock. Like if it's not like hip hop, I'm completely immersed in. I'm pretty immersed in country. I don't know why. It's just something I've always loved. And but other than that, every other genre, I'm like immersed enough to have conversations with people, and I'm like the really good like. But once you go past and you're just like listening to guitar riffs and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like with rock, I'm like, I guess I'm just a lyrics guy. Honestly, that's why I fuck with country. That's why I like rap, and that's why I like good. I like rock with good singers and good stories, and like I obviously love the musicians that are playing the instruments, but if you got a shitty singer, I'm like, I don't care how good you play that guitar, bro. If this dude can't,
anybody can ruin a band.
Yeah.
Anybody that didn't learn the tunes can make it less like.
But did is that how kind of you are? You just like a lot of different genres, and you just kind of draw from all of them.
I can appreciate what you're saying from the songwriter like point of view.
Yeah,
I definitely like enjoy that part of music myself. For the most part, I'm very much feel myself to be a lyrics guy as well. I write songs a lot. It's one thing that I really like. A goal of mine is to get some of my music out this year. Really been putting that back forever as I've like constantly just worked.
Yeah, you've let me hear a little bit. I'd love to hear some more. I haven't got to hear a lot, but what I've heard, I love. I'd love to get on something with you, man. Do a little collaboration on it.
And that would be fun, man.
Hell yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, I would have a good time with that.
I really do. Like since I've been working at Costello's, I've worked with a lot of hip hop, pop oriented clients, or people that are really kind of just doing things a little bit different way, a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And really putting out music kind of quick, which I did enjoy that, like right off the rip. And now I've been there for several years. And, man, it's fun. I'm really grateful for that experience. And it's like, man, you could really go in for like an hour or two and like have a song done.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Go.
Especially hip hop, bro. Like you can, you doing some rap, dude. It's a rap.
Sure.
like quick. You know what I mean?
I remember there was this one dude that went, and it was 3 or 4 years ago. I didn't just met the guy, went in and laid down a track, and I was like, you want to stack anything? Do we need to? He's like, no, man, I think that's good. I think I got it. I was like, damn, all right, shit. And got through a couple of songs like that. I was like, man, and came out. I was like, bro, I was kind of blown away. I was like, man, you were really good, man. And I'm like, oh, this dude probably thinks I'm just like, full of it or whatever. But I was like, dude, I really like. How many songs did you just get done, dude? And they started talking about it, and I was like noticing he didn't have anything. I was like, man, did you just freestyle that shit? He's like, yeah. I was just kind of what was kind of in my head, today or whatever. Spent a couple $100 to get it done. I was like, shit, I've been sitting on songs for like 6 years. This dude just wrote 6 songs in like 3 hours. Like done.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
And they were good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes out there like that, man. I mean, I'm kind of like that. If you put on, I can do 2 or 3 songs in a night for sure, easily. But it's as long as it's good. I think that's the main thing, because there's a lot of people out there that hear stuff like that and they're like, oh, I can do 2 or 3 songs. Yeah, but can you do 3 good songs, like, or should you just be like working on like half a song? Like that. I think that. And it's not like a competitive thing in the sense of like I don't think it should matter like if you get it done fast or slow. It's just did it come out how you wanted to?
Yeah, I would agree.
You know
with
what
that,
I mean?
Sure, right.
So,
I was just impressed.
But I'm saying like it's always impressive to see somebody just like if it's good. That's what I'm trying to say. Like when it's good, that shit's impressive.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how I feel too.
And it doesn't happen all the time.
No.
Obviously, I'm sitting on songs for a decade.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said that I I don't have songs I've had for 5-6 years.
Just sitting there.
Maybe 10,
just
15
dying on
years.
the hard drive.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. So, what's the next step for you? You still just going to kick it in the studio and work it and get the store pumping? Is that your two main goals right now? Or what? I know you say you want to release some of your music, so like you have goals of dropping like an EP, or do you want to shoot videos? Or
I think I'm just gonna release singles at a time and stop worrying about it. Just gonna put out a song at a time. I got something ready to go. I'm gonna focus on the store this year. I've been running sound a lot. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully do some mason jar shows soon.
Yep.
Got some shows booked with
plays
Brady.
bass in mason jar, Hell yeah.
Started a new cover band called One Track Mind with some of my friends. We played a couple of gigs.
What y'all covering?
Like dance oriented, like the Bruno Mars and like Lizzo stuff.
Shit, yeah,
a couple of those Dua Lipa songs.
Yeah. Well, I need to get your schedule, man. I'll come check you out.
That shit's fun to play on bass.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's like the three you just named is real like jazzy, like the bass lines, I'm sure.
Prevalent, loud.
Yeah. It's the bass is like the most prominent thing in those songs, you know what I mean? Like that's what I love about it's I guess that's why I connect with bass players, because like I always rap with the bass line when I do music, and in a weird way though. Like I know that's probably, people go with the drums or things like that.
The bass
or they
is perfect.
Go with,
bass makes the most sense. I mean, it's on the beat and it's in the key.
It's
doing both things. Yeah.
But I look at the bass like when it's like, I don't know, because I rap on like weird timing, like everybody says. I don't really know. I can hear it, but I don't. It's just how I rap. I'm like, I hit on like 3s and 5s and set like the lyrics, the bars like hit.
Yeah.
If I do a hook, then it's probably gonna be more in like the 4s. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be more like 2, 4, 6, 8. You know what I mean? Like,
gotcha. But
when I'm in the verses, it's always like hit the 3,
mess with the time,
and then skip over to 4 and hit it on the 5, and it, like I'm gonna end up we're gonna end up at the 8 together, but we're not gonna get there the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people that write is like they're hitting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I'm like. And I'll go over the spot. I've had people like critique it, like, why do you go? You're supposed to like stop right there. Like, no, I'm gonna stop on the next one. Like so. But the bass line, I like to. That's why I usually rap to the bass line, because that's what keeps me on time. Because the bass, the drums, like if you're picking out spots of the drums to stay with, I feel like you're on a certain count. You know what I mean? But the bass has like extra notes in it that I can find, and I'm like, I know that if I hit this, the bass is going to hit here, and then it's going to hit there. So I know how to like, okay, I can go off time a little bit as long as I catch where that bass is hitting again, because the bass stays in time, but it goes in and out of time. The drums to me never go out of time unless somebody's fucking up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the bass, you can kind of play with the time and bend it a little bit, but the drums, like, to me, always they're on time. You know what I mean? Like because they're making the time, I guess.
Yeah, so, I mean,
I don't know, man. Cool. I'm excited to get out there and play some more music with you, man. It's been a minute, like I don't know, man. It's been tough for us booking as a band, because it feels like since things have ramped back up, the cover band thing has been really popping off, because it's you get kind of a built-in crowd with it, and like you're not like taking a chance of having people that aren't hip to this or don't like that, you know what I mean? And it's like, and like it's crazy because I can't imagine how y'all play, but like Jason and them have been playing in the Getaway Bronco, and them dudes just murder.
Oh, dude, that band's crushing right now.
Yeah, they just murder all those 90s covers and stuff, and it's like crazy, you know what I mean? Like
those Windjammer gigs gotta be so much fun. That is like one of my favorite places to play in town.
Yeah, I love Windjammer, man. Well, Windjammer like has has not like a, it's got like a somewhat of a built-in crowd because they know like everybody on the island, like there's not many places to go. And then once you bring all the other people to the island, you know what I'm saying? And you got that just, and everybody there like loves music. That's what's real dope about the Windjammer. Is like people go there and they know like the Windjammer's always been real good about getting really great acts. You know what I mean? Like that's why I think they thrive, because they get acts that bring people, and they're good, so everybody just keeps coming back. You know what I mean? Because there's not a lot of like.
There's been a lot of nights I went there and didn't know the band, and then I was like, man, this band is great. Who's this?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because
like,
they brought the bigger acts.
Yeah, because that band is awesome. So like they don't ever have like. I don't know that I've ever been there and been like, this band. I've been a lot of places where I'm like, where are we going? Like next.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like no disrespect, but
I don't like it.
You know what I mean? I just not my thing. But the Windjammer, I feel like every time I've been there, I've never been like had like a bad taste in my mouth and been like, man, I don't know how long I can sit here and listen to this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Shout out whoever's booking for the Windjammer. I don't know.
That's Scotty.
That's what I'm really saying.
That's Scotty Fryer does the booking over there.
Well, shout out Fryer. I'm gonna just call you Fryer, bro.
I mean, there's something about that place. I mean, anytime you have a place that's that cool, that has so much history, there's always like a built-in crowd.
Right.
Like you feel like some pressure to like perform and be good. You know, when like there's people there looking at you. You know, like expecting that.
Yeah, that's the dopest thing about being at the Windjammer, man, is that, you know, like, it's history. There's been lots of great acts on it, so you feel honored to be on it. And then you're right on the fucking ocean, so like that never sucks.
It's beautiful.
You walk out on the back patio, and or if you're playing on the Sunset stage. I haven't got the opportunity to do that yet. How is that? You did that with Randall, didn't you, one time?
Yeah. No,
or a couple times. One time. I don't know.
Nah, it feels like
either way, it's.
Yeah, it's that's
beautiful. Dope. Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Probably feels great.
It does.
You know what I mean? Instead of being all inside, hot and sweating, you got all that.
I mean, I like inside too, but you know.
I like inside because I feel like it's like, you know, with the lights and everything, it's like a totally different vibe. But I've always liked the Sunset stage. It's just a real dope vibe out there. So
oh yeah,
maybe one day I'll get to play out there. I played the Windjammer a handful of times, so I'm honored. If that's all I get to do, then I'm cool with it. But it would be dope to be on that Sunset stage, man. Have a beach party. But this ain't Miami, man. It's Charleston. We can't even drink on the damn beach no more. I guess you can on the Sunset, like, because it's kind of on their property. So
yeah, you can have Windjammer,
yeah. Sure. You can't walk out on the beach. Like, I don't know, man. You remember the old movies where I always wanted to do that. And then when I got old enough to do it, I was like, what? We can't do that? You ever seen the movies where they, like, dig a pit on the beach and start a bonfire?
I did that. Yeah, I did that. I burned a guitar on I set a guitar on fire. I took a bunch of pictures of stuff.
All right, 45 minutes in, you're going to give us a good story about a guitar getting burnt. Like, what? You just burnt a good guitar?
Nah, well, it was a good guitar, but it actually, unfortunately, took a fall, and the neck had broken beyond repair.
Oh, so he was like, let's burn it.
Yeah, I was a lot younger. It's, you know, kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing.
I wonder how many tunes and riffs you burn out of existence with that. You know what I mean? That guitar might have had.
I got another guitar pretty quick.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, but that guitar probably had like
the pictures were really
5
cool.
number 1 Billboard hits on it.
I know the pictures were really cool. I used them for a long time.
Yeah,
they were really cool.
Yeah, man. So have you said you did some traveling, like you lived in some other areas as well?
Not really live, just visited.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You've been traveling for a purpose or a vacation or just work, or you just...
Not a lot recently. There was a 10-year period of time there. I was traveling quite a bit.
Yeah.
I was working at the center, and they ran me around a lot, and I had some friends in Europe, and I was going over there quite a bit.
What? Europe?
Where
at in Europe?
Mostly Romania.
Shit.
Like in Italy and some other parts.
How was that? I know my dad went to Italy not too long ago, and
That was cool.
Yeah.
Very old
Supposedly
school.
the food is ridiculous.
The food was interesting, man.
You got Italian roots or anything like that?
Yeah. Apparently in the lineage, there's some Italian and some Portuguese.
Oh, nice, nice.
I don't really know that much about it, but that's kind of what I got.
Yeah, I don't know too much about my shit either. I know that I'm Irish. Yeah. Irish, British. I think I got a little German and like some I don't know, West or South African or something, like less than 1% though. But it's on there. I gotta claim it, I guess.
That is crazy. That there's just like with the internet now, like we can just go look that up, and we're like in this generation where we didn't have that before, so we're like, I'm good with just not knowing.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know, man. I don't. I guess it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? Like it does, like, but at the end of the day, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like I gotta feel connected to people from generations and generations ago or something. Like I don't know, man. Like I gotta make the best out of my life, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I get like astrology and shits like that too. Like you find out what you are, and then you start be like letting it affect, like you start behaving that way. I don't know, like it's either like, because you look at it as your genealogy, like your ancestry or your astrology or things like that, and you look at it as like, oh, now I understand why, like, I'm this way, or why I behave this way, or why I like this or that thing, and then like, and then at some point you start like manifesting those traits more than just having them or something, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, that's just how I've always kind of looked at it, is like I might be like my mom, I might be like my dad, I might be like my granddad, I might be like my 26 cousin from around the way, but at the end of the day, I still gotta just be me, bro. Like I still like what I like, like you know what I mean. I still gotta do what I gotta do. So I don't know. I that's probably why I don't get too invested in this shit. You know what I'm saying? But so man, I really appreciate you coming on the pod, dude. It's been awesome to get to know you a little bit better, man, and tell people how dope you are, man. Like I said, we need to plug Sound Power.
Yeah. The store.
His store on Bacon's Bridge Road. What do you say, 1226?
1246.
1246 Bacon's Bridge Road. Right above it's Costello Studios. Costello, stand-up dude, man. He's reputable in the scene. So if you need that kind of work, get with Chris. If you need sound work, get with Chris. Because him and Dwayne, the Wolf. Yeah, Dwayne Greenhill. Shout out him, man. I love Dwayne, man. He's such his own person, man, that he makes himself like that's what I love. I love people that are just like unapologetically themselves. So shout out him, man. Love you, Dwayne. Yeah, man. Everything you need, bro. Sound Power Music, Chris Viera. It's the Water Pod. Like I said, this episode is brought to you by 50 Shades of Green Landscaping. So get at them, man. My boy Darren Boyce owns it. I'll put the links onto it, and the logo will be at the beginning, so you can reach out to him. Please get down to the music store, man. Check out a Mason Jar Music Show. Check out local shows, man. That way you can get to know people like Chris, man. That like I always say, man, network with other musicians, network with other business owners, you know, like y'all can help each other. If he sells music goods, okay, well, you sell candles and he needs some candles for the crib, like that's what we need to do, you know what I mean? If you need countertops, holler at me, but I don't usually plug that, but that's what I do. I own a business doing countertops, so if you ever need that, holler. Many things. Shout out Foolish, always coming through, working the cameras for us, you know what I mean? So, like I always say, man, think harder, work smarter. If you want it to grow, just add water. Chris Viera, the Water Boy. It's the Water Pod. Peace.